Hello and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. I believe this will be an update number 36 for the Enterprise D build. Anywho, working here on Deck 6. Again, here's the main corridor, or the Broadway, whatever you want to call it, corridor. I went ahead and mocked up a couple of these. Actually, I did them all. Safe places on the Enterprise D here. In the event that this deck decompresses, because it's also a main. I forget what I'm talking about half the time. It is also a main lifeboat deck, so if you can't get to the lifeboats, most chances are you'll be using this corridor. You can get to one of these safe rooms. You're pretty well set. You got a spacesuit, supplies, replicator, storage facility, bathroom, and if you have to, you can lay on the floor or use that as a seat. But yeah, this is a little place to be in case the ship decompresses. And you can't make it to any of the larger long-term emergency habitats, which we will be adding to this ship, which I wish I would have added to the E as well, although I guess I did in a way. There's very similar to those emergency crew quarters along the port and starboard sides, so I guess in a way I did. But yeah, this deck is looking pretty good. I did not include any roofing on this because there'll probably be windows over this corridor. It's one of the things that it occurred to me that we should go ahead and include windows as much as possible over this corridor to kind of give the windows that Enterprise D look. At least it seems like a good idea. I also got all the life pods in, or the lifeboats in. These were a real nightmare to get in. And what I ended up doing on some of them, I ended up dropping these floors down. So what will happen is when I mirror out Deck 7, Deck 7 will actually include these, but since the deck is 4 blocks tall, they'll actually be included in the roof and covered up by half slab, so you won't even be able to see them. What else did we get done over here? That's pretty much it for Deck 6. I got a few more things to do. I got to add in the iPanic supply pods and go in here. I might make them a little bit bigger, taller than what iPanic has them currently. Just, because there's extra room here, and why not? Then again, they might be just perfect size for this. I don't know yet. I haven't placed them in here, but once I do, I will know. I had to lower these down over here, so what I did is I closed off this area and made a little Jeffries tube that goes between it. So between them, these are lifeboats. Added this. This is the turbolift repair for the starboard side, and there will, I assume, be another one when it mirrors onto the port side. But on the port side, this whole section through here is different. So because it encapsulates the top of the Cobra head, was down through here. I also, just because, and I figured why not, added a stairwell from Deck 6 here down to Deck 7 because, again, we need it. And, of course, the stairwell from the upper decks comes down through here. And lifeboats, as you can see, these are the Killer Waffle design, I believe. So, awesome. But, yeah, another purple room here. Means I don't know what's going to go in there. Come over here to the stairwell real quick. I did get all the lifeboat systems in as well, and plumbed, which is really nice. Come down through here, and it basically come out onto Deck 7, which is the top of the Cobra head as well, so it beams on down to Deck 8. And this goes on down to Deck 8. And now, whoops, kind of back down here, getting a little too fast for myself. I'll show you on the actual Deck 7 how it lays in here, but I did put a hatch here onto the top of the Cobra head. And we'll buzz on down here to Deck 7 real quick. Deck 6, Deck 7. There's one above us. And adding stuff in here as we go. I'll have to copy a lot of this stuff out and make sure it gets migrated up to the one above us. Why repeat when you can just mirror? Anyways, come along here, and as you see, this comes on down. Now we're into the top of the Cobra head. This, of course, functions as a hatch, best way to put it. Bulkhead, emergency bulkhead. And this right here this would basically piston up and seal this off. And then over here, this would piston up, or these doors would close. I think it's doors here, they would close, so this whole area here would be sealed off. And I think I'll probably end up putting the same thing here with, actually I would put them here so that I could kind of hide them. So this would probably get moved to here. And then we come out into the top of the Cobra head on deck 8. So looking good there. Now, there were some modifications done back here to the iPanic design. What I did is there's two versions. Let me speed on over here real quick. There's the iPanic standard version, which is this one, and then there's the revised version, which basically adds a bunch of windows and some minor changes to it. Now, keep in mind as we buzz over here again, it's always dark on the server. It's always nighttime on the server. I think it's like that on every server. It's always dark. This section back through here has a lot of windows in it. And basically the windows spread out over here and they spread out over here, so on and so forth. So this whole section is just inundated with windows. Well, we can do with a few fewer windows through these sections here, given how many will be actually in this area. So iPanic may go through here and close some of these off, like this one, and maybe one or two others through here, just to kind of thin them out a little bit. It's really, sorry about that, my mouse gave me a little wiggle there. It's really up to M. Heller and iPanic as to what to do with this, as far as that goes. I'm of the game that a little bit less is fine. Just to be honest, a little bit less is fine. Go ahead and fix that one here. I'll probably have to fix that one. Let's go do that real quick. Because as you get to it and you start to see the windows spread out a little bit, it'll look more normal, like what we're used to seeing in the ship and stuff like that. But again, it's just one of those things. Maybe sometimes too much, too many windows is just too much. But let us buzz on in there real quick, and I'll show you a little bit of the detail changes that were made. My compass on me? I sure do. Is it going to let me in there? There we go. Well, there we go. The area bugged me. Don't get me wrong, I love the area. I love what he decided to go with here. But something was just driving me nuts. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I was just in a really bad mood, bitching to M. Heller about it, and saying something's wrong. I need to figure out what's wrong with this area. It's just driving me nuts. I just don't feel comfortable in there. Go in there, and I just feel something's wrong. Well, this was what it was. Right here. All I needed to do was raise this area up. What was it? This was a flat area, and iPanic is going for a cave feel in this area, and with this whole area being flat, it just didn't feel right. There's something wrong. And when I raised it up, it made a hell of a difference. It really did. It gave the area more depth. It allows you to view the pond here. And yes, this is done by design. These are done by designs. These will not be filled in. This is actually, he'll probably end up replacing this black strip because that's kind of hideous, he said. So iPanic will replace that black strip, probably make it gray. I didn't touch anything with this because I figured he was still working on it. We did add some lights up there to kind of give it some depth. And I want you guys to see this. Now, this is the main area where you come to get your food, and then you have 3 levels, 4 levels where you can go and eat. This is pretty damn clever. I love this idea. Because this is the way it should be. You just get your food, and then you go over and you sit down and you relax. But look at the lighting. Look at the attention to detail they put in this lighting through here. So somebody will come in here and says, well, there's not a lot of detail. It needs more detail. Not really. It's subtle detail. This area is very warm. It has a very mall community feel to it. And when you say that about Star Trek, you've hit it. Because that was the one thing Gene Roddenberry was really shooting for with the Enterprise D, is it was a big community in space. A big mall, a big city, or small cities, big town in space. But look at the detail Panic did with these lights. And each one of these lights up here, if you look, it has this I love going so fast that I can't move, But yeah, you look at this. They have these patterns to them up here with these fence blocks and stuff. So there's depth in these, and he designed these patterns here. And I love this stairwell. The only thing I did is because the stairwell kind of zigzagged up, it needed to be one wider. I just coned it around this here. Panic did it because he had it matched up to this, and I understood when he did that, and I can understand how he wants to keep things in line. But when I realized is that these windows really lined up with this stuff, my first thought was to go back and basically take these two windows out and put a window here, and these would be solid and all that stuff. But that's something that we'll have to look at later on. Same thing with this one. Same thing with this one right here. So the windows will have to be redesigned, of course, which is nice because right now they're open and it'll be an easy enough thing to do, and then everything can be fit kind of neat, so that it has a better feel to it than it currently does. I think one of the issues is I don't like the way the windows are placed, and that's my fault. That's nobody else's fault but mine. And in order to do this area justice, I think I'll have to revise these windows, and that's probably something I will do, because it's such a beautiful area, and it just deserves to be as perfect as we can get it. I changed some blocks that Panic had for the roof tiling. It does feel a little claustrophobic, but we can't get away from that because, again, it's half slabs, and if there was less than half slabs, like if you could put like snow or something up here, it'd be nice, because then these would have ribbing and depth to them, and it wouldn't be so flat. But you know how it is. It is what it is. You can't get away from it. But yeah, that's all I did here. I widened that out, and pretty much looking pretty good through here. One of the problems when it got mirrored, and I have to come back through here and fix it, is this section here got foobarred. Originally it was really bad. I mean really bad. I ended up having to do a lot of reconstruction work. These things happen. I'm not too miffed about it. I mean, no reason to get miffed about it. It's just just one of those things. It happens. It's happened to me quite a few. Dang it! Darn it! It's happened to me quite a few times. So what can you do? So what I'm going to do here is a bathroom. So I know that these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I'll go one more. See if we can get away with one more. I don't remember the exact dimensions. Yeah, that was it. And then of course they're double walled. So man, getting some serious latency issues today. It's not the server. It's my own ISP. They have outdated equipment, and they're too cheap to replace it. So actually, I want to do it this way. And what happens is the server, early morning and evening hours, gets overrun. People coming home from work, or first getting up to go to work, so everybody's got to get online and check their emails and do their morning stuff, and it overloads the servers, and then the servers, of course, cause latency issues, and I end up having to wait 15 minutes for a damn block command to finish completing. Life. But yeah, Em was a real big sport and helped me sort that out last week, so I greatly appreciate her helping me with that. Confirmed it was an issue with my ISP, which we suspected from day one. And there we go. Oh, wait, this is a corridor. Derp. Learn something new every day. 2, 3 wide. 2, 3, 4 wide. Again, this right here is the issue. Right there. There. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. I know you can. Come on. There we go. And we'll just come along here. Along here. This is the boring side of building. Normally I'd already be done with it, but of course, as you can see, it's just going really, really slow. Really slow. Shadow is also on. He's over working on his E-build. And I believe GOF is on, and he's currently working on the Enterprise TOS. Both builds are pretty amazing. The skinning, let's go ahead and TP to Shadow. Whoops. If I can type again. And we wait, and we wait, and we fall to our deaths. Anyways, this is his Enterprise, or excuse me, his Sovereign style build. Luminesce, I believe. I probably have that wrong. I keep missing one. What is the name of your ship? Shadow. He should respond, hopefully. Luminesce, Luminete, Luminate. Darn it. I'm lag. But yeah, they finished masking it. Luminosity B. I helped a little bit. Didn't do too much. I just helped a little bit with up around here and around the backside, and then on the underside of the saucer. Panic has been helping with the phaser strips, and I think with the captain's yacht, which is a dynamite-looking captain's yacht. And Cass and a whole bunch of other folks helped him mask this hull off in record time. Of course, we had to do it by our old method, which is basically, block at a time, because the sand drop method really wasn't working too well for us. As you can see, this area here's all been converted to stone, and the rest of the hull is currently, wow, they've really made progress on this. Last time I was over here, this thing hadn't even been started yet, but as you can see, it's a beautiful looking hull. It's got a lot of nice details. It so much reminds me of the Enterprise E when we started working on her. You go back and you watch those old Enterprise E videos and stuff, and you can see the progress that we went through on the ship building. And I have to be straight up honest with you. That was a year. It still isn't finished yet, because we basically, all of us burned out working on it. And we just got to fill in all the little rooms and everything else, and oh boy, that gets boring fast. I'm more of a design guy. I like to lay out designs for the interior. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong, and you know how it is. But yeah, it just brings back memories. Lots and lots of memories of seeing him do this. I'll probably snag this hull from him now that it's clean, make a copy of it for myself, just in case I ever want to do a version of the Enterprise that actually does separate. But yeah, I helped out with all this stuff down here, all this intricate crap down through here. Helped with all of this. All of this through here I helped with. I'm so happy that, because Shadow did the grotto for the Enterprise D, so the least I could do is help him mask his build over here and help him out where I can and stuff. So he's looking good. He's got odd color shapes, but again, Minecraft. I'd show you his bridge here real quick. Very roomy. Very, he said that he takes a lot of inspiration from the show and the movies and stuff, and it shows. He's looking good through here. He's got his little captain's cabin in here with a bed. And very, very spacious bathroom. Of course, torpedo would pretty much ventilate that. Yeah, it looks pretty solid through here. Nicely done indeed. Let's take a look at his captain yacht here. Well, first let's take a look at the old Enterprise E captain's yacht. Originally, this was first designed by Panic and Mad Squirrel, and I went back after several months, and I went back and I redesigned it. There we go. And I basically I did it, I did it quick and dirty. I never really put too much thought into it. I put a little lunchroom in here with a door that gets in behind that redstone, which will have to be updated. A bathroom here. I hit a door there because it was the only way so that I could, if you open this door here, you can step through into that area behind there. I had it set up for the part, all you had to do was turn that, and this door here would work, but couldn't do it. But yeah, it comes through here. You have some storage and your basic replicators, lounge or a big kitchen table. Then in here you have your two-man transporter. Here's the warp core with ladder down. Then you have sleeping quarters, storage, of course the control room, bridge as you would call it, and then ladders down. Here's the captain's billet. As you can see, it's dated. We haven't replaced all of these yet. And then some more crew lounge area here, crew berthing, and of course mass shower, more storage. Here's the warp core itself. Maintenance and stuff like that can be done in here. This is for EVA lockers, both sides. And then we have the ladder. Darn it. It doesn't matter. This is just, a build. We have the ladder here that when the ship lands, these go down and you use this to exit the ship. And the landing gear is stored up inside of here and up in here. And this, of course, is just a little workspace. Now let's go take a real quick look at the version Shadow and Panic came up with. And you'll see, I mean, both ships have their merits, but man, they really did a nice job on that captain's yacht. Panic is pretty darn good when it comes to building captains, or excuse me, building shuttles and laying out shuttles and stuff. Let's go with this version because this is a badass version right here. Get both doors open. A lot smoother than in mine, but again, that one's been mirrored a few times, so the redstone probably got fookered. But they're using the newer block styles. You have a lot more room in here, which I honestly have to say, I really like the spaciousness of this ship right here, right now. The only thing I would say is I would have more. Well, he does have them. He has a nice two-man crew berth here. I'd have a couple more crew berths. Get to work on the maintenance for the engines in these areas here. Impulse bays. Work area. You got lounge or crew quarters here, and then over here you have captain's quarters or whatever. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Beautiful use of space. Actually, I think this might actually be bigger than the one we're using, or it might be the same size. Actually, I think it is bigger. I don't know. It might be the same exact size, but it looks bigger. That's what's so killer about this. It just looks bigger. So I really think that we should retire the old captain's yacht and have them mock one of these up. Same style, same layout, everything, but just different floor coloring and stuff. I love the purple, by the way. Purple and gray really does a nice combination in here. And just do that, you know, just have a mock-up, just a version of this for the Enterprise E and ditch the old one. Because this one is just beautiful. Bathroom, and then a huge command compartment. Now, to go down, this is the only gripe I have. I don't like this. It's functional. It works. I'm so worried that some of the people just do this. You know, that's the only thing about it I don't like. If they could extend it by one, and I don't know, you really can't do anything about it, to be honest with you, because if you do, then you see the hole, and yeah. But that's the only thing I don't like about it, is that windy staircase. But it works, it's functional, so don't mind me. Again, bathroom, and you got your landing gear stair off yacht, which is perfectly valid point. You'd have 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, fore and aft. Huge storage bay back here. This is where all the redstone for the door is at, is behind this wall. I'll bet money on it. And then you have interior access to the warp core for your radioactive needs. So yeah, they did an outstanding job on this. And check out this mess lounge. I love the combination of that blue on blue. It's just so subtle. You just sit in here. It's like, oh yeah, I'm on the captain's yacht, bitches. That makes me special. But yeah, it's done well. And then of course you have this area, this work area up through here and stuff like that. That might be a torpedo launcher or a phaser strip or something. I don't know. But yeah, it looks beautiful. Well done job on this. Like I said, I really think that we should go ahead and just mock up a version for the Enterprise E as a replacement for the one on it, because that one is very dated. And in all honesty, I rushed through that to get it done. So that was still not a bad looking ship. And we were wrong, but this one just looks better. Bottom line, let's go over and see what Guardian's up to. TPGOF. He may not be on the server. No, he's on the server. I just misspelled his name. TPGUA. Let's try that. I do that a lot. It's dark again. Anyways, he's over here working on the Enterprise TOS, trying to fix my utter and complete muck-up of this poor ship. Actually, I didn't do all that bad. I did some pretty good stuff with it, and he's just going through and he's updating everything. Of course, our friend, oh darn, I can't remember the username of that guy who did that. He came on and he got a promotion for doing this because we were trying to fit this mess into this space, and so that these doors down here would work the way these doors work. And he pulled it off, and he pulled it off brilliantly. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with usernames. He's on quite a bit, or was on quite a bit there, but he did a beautiful job on this. And if you guys want to come on the server in SGOF, I'm sure he knows the guy's name. You can just ask him for it. But I thought there was something over here. I think I may have mentioned it in another video. I may not have. But yeah, these doors are awesome. He did a really nice job on these doors. He's done quite a few doors over there behind the Fearless. If you want to go behind the Fearless and look at his redstone area, check it out. He's doing some pretty dynamite stuff up there. But yeah, all this whole area here, I believe Guardian. Well, he hasn't replaced this yet. So eventually that there will be up here, and it'll be a mirror of this over here. So, well, actually there's a sign here. Maybe it says who did it. No, it just says what it is. But Guardian's been busy reworking this and trying his darndest to, how can I put it, fit a 12-foot corridor in a 9-foot area. Now, when the show was shot, of course, it's a Hollywood set piece. It is not a real starship. And anybody that makes that argument, oh, it's 12 feet on the ship. When you break down the dimensions of this ship, the actual from top to bottom size, with the number of decks that it has in it, they cannot be 12 feet tall. It's just simply not in Minecraft, because we are dealing with simple facts, 1 meter thick blocks. Now, there have been people that says, well, why don't you make the floor half slabs? Well, I'll show you why you can't make the floor half slabs with half slabs. Alright, this would be the, if I can slow down, this would be the floor, and this right down here, the bottom side of it, would be the ceiling of the deck, next deck above it. Brilliant. It works really well. Until you decide to add in the little red ribbings that go across at the top of the deck. See these things? Remember these? You look up. Those are 9 feet in the air above the heads of, actually 10.5 feet above their heads. So they have that height for filming. See that space? That's why. That's why you can't use half slabs. Now the only other option is, of course, to have 4-block tall decks, which would be 12 feet tall decks. Can't do that because, again, we wouldn't be able to fit the decks in here. This saucer would only have literally 1 deck. Just couldn't be done. So that's the issue. Now, yeah, you could upsize the hull, but then the hull would be out of dimension. It won't be a true 1-to-1. It'd be like a 1 or whatever. It would be an off-sized shape. So yeah, it would look hideous too. I've actually seen these things where they've sized them so they could do whatever, 12 tall decks and 12-foot tall decks, 4-block tall, and they look hideous, absolutely hideous. But I think Shadow pulled it off brilliantly. Look at the detail he's put into this. The floor, the ceiling. Again, 12-foot tall corridors fit into a 9-foot or 9-tall area. Brilliantly done. Of course, he has a lot of work left to do, but this is his main thing. He's working through this stuff here. This must be deck 3. I don't think it's any other deck. Actually, I'm kind of curious now, because that is a really odd way for that to end. Oh, okay, that's why it ended that way. I thought it was part of the circle. Oh, the outer ring. Derp. But yeah, he's working on the crew quarters and getting everything situated and stuff like that. It comes with a bowling alley. And these are the strategic. This ship was based off the strategic design plans, loosely based off the strategic design plans. And of course, there are older plans, I think, that were made by some of the same people from the 70s, where the bowling alley is literally and the swimming pool. The swimming pool's down here, and the bowling alley's down over here under the flight deck. Now, this deck right here, it got. Actually, I think it might be this deck. Actually, this is the main upper deck. That's the one he's working on up there right now. So actually, I want to show you the deck that I don't know how it got screwed up, but I'm taking responsibility for it because I should have caught it. This right through here is all screwed up. It's not a perfect circle in any way, shape, or form. And I think what happened was, initially we designed it, and then it was mirrored, and the mirroring cut it short because of these 3 wides here, and it just sort of kind of went because I remember originally I did have a perfect circle in here, and I had this thing all the way around it. And then I remember somebody said, "Well, we need to make sick bay bigger." So sick bay got adjusted, and then this was supposed to be adjusted. And you got from that point forward too many cooks in the kitchen. So, yeah, it kind of got cattywampus. I should have caught it when I was originally doing the design work. I did not. It's on me. That's my foobar, and I own it. But what's really nice is that Guardian knows that he can make this deck a lot bigger if he wants, because he has the room for it. There's no reason this needs to be too thick all the way around here, except in the corners. It might be beneficial to have it too thick so you don't feel like you're... Well, again, it doesn't matter. That gives him that much more room through here to make this thing even bigger. A lot of working room and stuff for Guardian to work with in through here. So, yeah, I think he's got it covered. He's very busy on it. And, what can we say? It's an iconic ship, and so many of us older track farts idolize this ship. In fact, I'm looking at one of them right now sitting on my desk. So, yeah, it's a ship that is absolutely idolized. And I'm so happy that Guardian's willing to take on the role of rebuilding her and remastering her, because I know it's in good hands. If you've seen the Excelsior build, you know this ship's in good hands. So... And, oh yeah, I was going to show you Killer Waffles' ship, but I think it was in another video. It was Killer's kicking ass on his build too when he has time to work on it. Note to self: if anyone touches Enterprise A, permaban. This ship does not get touched, period, unless I'm involved with it, and I will be heavily involved with it. I love this ship. This is my baby. This is my baby. I love my baby. Yes, I do. She's a pretty girl. She's going to get renovated too, and that means brought up to newer build standards with a lot of interior work and stuff like that being done. What can I tell you? Both of these ships were built in 2013, 2014, and you can go look at the videos. You can recall from watching the videos, but this was a complete rebuild that we did in less than 4 months. So I always planned on going back to her and putting a lot more work and attention to detail into her and stuff like that, and I never got back to her. We just kept moving down the row, working on projects. But I did come back and I did revisit the A quite a bit. I mean, quite a bit. I never did do the Aztecing. I never got the colors around the breast area here quite right and things like that. So a lot of that stuff's going to get revised and things like that. And, somebody's been making changes to her. Oh, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm frustrated now. Somebody's been making changes to my baby and I don't like it. But yeah, the Enterprise here, and hopefully once Killer gets done with his Enterprise, or his Excelsior rebuild over there, I can get him to come and redo this one. Because again, this one here, I love the way I laid it out. It's just really well laid out inside, I think, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I could have absolutely crap in here for all I can call. I don't remember, to be honest with you, but I was so fond of the B for so long. And, again, we were going to come back and work on it and do a lot of details that we never did. So, it just fell by the wayside because we just move on to other projects and with the intent of always coming back and doing more work on these. But what can I say? When we got into the Defiant and the Voyager, we knew we were onto a good build style. And both of those ships, which are right over here, we knew we were onto something with these. And so these really became our primary focus, these two builds, the Defiant and the Voyager here. And granted, this had a huge build team involved with it. I'm getting some serious lag here. It's again not the server, it's me. Originally from the original design, when I laid out when I masked the hull, and then Matt Squirrel came over and he started working on the hull, fixing some of the flaws in the hull, and then I laid out the deck plans, and then Matt Squirrel and M. Heller placed the deck plans into the hull, and from that point forward we just started working on it. Everybody's spending some time on it. D-Bomb, I panicked myself. I think even Cole had some input on this one as well. And M. Heller, of course, obviously, and a few others that came along, and those are new. I don't remember those being there before. I have to look at my old saves. So, this ship became one of those ships that it had some burnout issues where people would be working on the nacelles and just got burned out. And finally, I punched out a rough nacelle, and then we just worked it in. M. Heller worked on it, I worked on it, then Mad worked on it, and I worked on it, Bomb worked on it. We just kept working on it. But all this hull detail and all this other stuff here was added by M. Heller and Mad Squirrel, I Panic, and a host of others. Boy, I am definitely just jumping all over with this. And same thing with the Voyager. The guys were working on this. I was working on the Voyager as well. And again, go watch the older videos. You can see how the progression of the Voyager went through. I've actually cleaned 3 Voyager hulls. This is the 3rd one. And a lot of work went into her. She's a beautiful ship. She really is. In fact, I've been wanting to do a new video on her for quite some time, and the reason being is let me go ahead and just go into Deck 2 here real quick. I think I may have covered this on a video. Again, we're waiting on latency issues, and that's my end. There we go. Give it a second, and it'll stabilize. All new interior. M's gone through it. Granted, we're still in the process of updating it, but all new interior through here, and it just looks beautiful. I remember times I'd come over to this ship and I couldn't go but 4 feet lag, 4 feet lag, 4 feet lag, and it wasn't just me, it was everyone. But after M migrated the server to 1.10.2 and fixed a bunch of plugins, got rid of a bunch of stuff, optimized her server, and did all she could do, it really smoothed it out quite a bit. It really did. And the Voyager is one of those builds that really, with every build you run into issues and flaws and things that just drive you absolutely batshit crazy. But that's where the build team comes in. They help work through this stuff. We butt heads. We have disagreements. And people get pissed and walk off the project for a while or forever. You never really know. But overall, every single person that has contributed to these builds has made them better. For the most part. Some folks have made them worse. We won't mention names. They're no longer here, and so we're real picky about who we let work on prime builds and things like that. We did discover that some folks were making adjustments to our builds after the fact, and we have taken steps to moderate that to make sure it doesn't happen again. People thinking that it's not perfect enough, then going in and trying to reshape the hull, and they got the hull on one side completely offset from the hull on the other side because they were trying to eyeball it in due to OCD issues, and and I came along and I saw what was going on and raised holy hell and stuff like that. So hopefully prevent that from happening in the future. Especially ran into that with the Enterprise D builds and stuff. Again, it's dark. Notice how fast it gets dark on the server. But yeah, that's the current state of the Enterprise D build. I realize I didn't spend a lot of time on it and stuff like that, but hopefully we'll be migrating Deck 6 back into the D build, and the next update will be an update about Deck 7. Anyways, I do appreciate you taking time to watch again. This is the Minetrek.net game server. If you hit the like button for me, it does help me out quite a bit. And also, if you'd like us on the Facebook page, on our Facebook page, that'd be a big help as well. If you feel like donating to the server, there'll be a link in the description below. Please feel free to donate. All money received helps keep the server up and running. Pays for that damn ISP link that M. Heller has to fork out every month for. Anywho, I do appreciate it, and so does everybody else. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Y'all have a great night. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.